to carry the Great Mother with them, to infuse the Great Mother everywhere they went. And
Yeah.
these are the times when it's really hard to be still.
Mm.
There's so much chaotic energy coming at us from all directions. And I just got an email this morning saying that so many people she knows who are beautiful hearted people are feeling overwhelmed, feeling heavy, feeling a bit lost. And I listened to you guys, and I'm not sure if you're in that
Yep.
group.
Um, I'm out here in where my land is. I have 10 acres on Tennessee and North Carolina border. And I wanted to put together a weekend, a Motherwell, I call my land. And I wanted to put together a weekend because I feel this desire and need for actual goddess community. And I feel like we are on these brink of, I've been doing this now for a dozen years, and I've had this privilege to meet so many women and organizations doing this work, and who have amassed so much wisdom and have all these different ways of looking at the world and living. And the world is so desperately in need of it right now. And so that's something that's been really foremost in my heart, is trying to figure out ways to actually get heart to heart with people and physically and bringing this. So I put that out there. I put out this call, and had nobody answer. Which happens, it happens. And I invited all my kids, because they haven't really been able to share my land with me. I have a hut with no electricity, and they have various comfort levels with nature. Probably my one of my sons, who's the most comfortable with nature, is the farthest away. So um and we rented a lake house here for this weekend. And then my partner, we had invited his son from Louisiana. And so I was thinking about canceling, but then his sons, said, yeah, I'm in. And we don't get to see him very often. And that was like, okay, well, then we're going to do this. And then I had two other of my friends, Maria, who I have sat in circle with for a long time, and Travis, who is a friend of ours, but really no experience to any of this. And I we started out the trip, and I have my daughter, my 14-year-old, and her friend, and she's a little bit upset because there's a group chat, and she had invited another friend of hers to come for this weekend. And the other friend has just kind of started going to church and is in that very like judgmental, like you're doing it wrong and you're not a Christian thing. And she put in the group chat, yeah, well, Georgia invited me, but I'm not going because they're doing demonic activities.
Oh.
It's like, oh my God. So then she followed up that with all the girls, were kind of like, oh, whatever. She goes, yeah, they'll be doing oracle cards all day long. Okay, we're not going to be doing oracle cards all day long. But then I also had this discussion with my daughter, and I'm like, I get it. In the Bible, it says divination is wrong, but it also says shrimp is wrong. So,
Because
so
anything women used to do is wrong.
yeah. So, I had this conversation with her. I'm like, to me personally, first of all, I know that the things I do, and we can even have a discussion about the word demon, which is just the flip side of angel, and your shadow side and all of that. At the end of the day, it's how you treat people, how you treat the earth, how you treat, who you are as a person, your actions, and the world you build around you. And I personally feel divination, and I had my mom, who is a Catholic, had told me tarot was wrong, that it was wrong and evil and the devil. And I was like, all of that are like ways to figure out what's inside of you, to look for guidance inside of you. So that's I had that conversation with her. And it's funny because we get here and my friend Travis is kind of the same opinion, that he was kind of, I could tell his nervousness when I pull up my stack of tarot and oracle cards, and so I'm having this opportunity to talk through, well, why, and I'm like, okay, so if you're saying that the world right now is working, then first of all, I have this deep belief and respect for whatever you find, however you find divinity and what you believe in. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, go for it. You know, but if you think the world as it is, the culture, the popular culture as it is working, which I know personally he does not, then then go be happy and whatever. But if you're open to other ways of living, other ways of looking at the world, other ways of knowing that we're not just here to bulldoze down all the trees and put in our concrete jungles and conquer everything and conquer people and conquer other cultures and amass as much money as we can, and that so many things about our culture are broken. If you understand that and get that, then you need to be open to other ways. So my end result is it's absolutely gorgeous here. We're in this house, it goes down this cliff, and I feel like so protected and in this bubble, and there's nature everywhere, and it's perfect. My weekend, Annie, because we had this, Annie was gonna come. And Annie was, I love how Annie was like, I'm there. And then I'm like, well, nobody else is in. And she's like, I'll come to the next one.
It's a good thing I didn't. You'll find out when I check in. Yeah.
Wants to go next?
I'll go next because I'll explain why it's so great that I didn't go, that it didn't, we ended up dropping the ball. And then I ended up with this, I'm in New York, and I finally settled into New York after just moving back here 3 years ago or so. And one of my main reasons to come back was to do theater. And I'm doing this thing called, I've had for 20 years, Poetry Witch Ritual Theater, which is combining the rhythms of poetry with music and dance and interactive ritual. And I've been doing these for so long, no matter where I've lived, all over the fucking place. And last night I did it in New York with these unbelievable collaborators, and it was so successful. We did Medusa and the Snakes, Medusa's Mirror. It was so great. We read aloud from Merlin Stone about the snake goddesses. We all had these snake crowns on our heads. Where's the fuck is my snake crown? I'll get it for you all in a minute. And we had snake crowns, and we did this ritual where they look in the cauldron, and we had everybody up there dancing with my rage, with my truth, with my heart. I mean, the energy was so fucking beautiful. And the collaborators are on board. Do it again. Take it on the road. Poetry rituals is like a thing, and it's all my life I've been sort of building everything to go into this, and everything is now in one thing that I can share, and I'm just so happy. So the world is ready for us. I do feel, I mean, people, I was so happy. Everybody just rose to their feet and started doing this dance, and it was just so much fun. Really powerful. Yeah. And the young people too, yeah.
I'm going to jump in. Well, am I cutting you
I'm
off?
done. No, that was last night.
Okay, I'm going to jump in that I've known Annie online for a decade, since I started the app. And then I finally had the opportunity to meet her at ASWIM, and she was in charge of the Saturday night ritual. And I was just blown away by her energy, just what you brought in this spirit and this life, and just, and that's part of it, is why I adore the fact we can connect through via Zoom, and that I can meet all these people. But we need to get back heart to heart, an actual community, and in front of people. And yeah. All right. Thank you. Who would like to go next? Erin, I'm going to invite you. You popped in next. Is that okay?
Absolutely. I am just really pleased to be here with everybody. I'm so excited to be kind of emerging into this resonance, this circle. And I've been at the work that I'm doing for a very long time, but it's fascinating to me how, you know, I haven't been able to put it out into the world because I've had some very debilitating health challenges, and I'm coming through those now. And the timing of everything couldn't be better. Like, I started trying to get out there with my main thing is like fear versus love, and choosing love always. And 10 years ago, I was out there trying to, you know, you guys are talking about like nobody wanting to join the party. And, people were really resistant to even the concept of like, I'm like, well, everybody lives in fear and blah, blah, blah. And everybody was like, no, not me. Fear? Never heard of it. What are you talking about? I don't live in fear, even though, now we know. So anyway, it's a fascinating time to be in connection. It's a fascinating time to be emerging into all of this. And, I'm just really excited to be part of this upswelling of energy that I feel and see happening, and I'm thrilled to be connected to you all. And I can't say everything in like 30 seconds, so I'll just kind of bide my time and be a fly on the wall. And yeah, I'm sure that we'll all get to know each other and what our missions are and how we can help each other, as things go along. But I'm just super excited to be in connection and to be just have a foot in the door and start building with you all.
Uh, anyway, it's still kind of coming down from our Wisdom of the Mothers, honoring our ancestral roots symposium, about a week and a half ago now, and we're going to do it again. Our third one, we've already planned now. We're in the planning stage for next April. That's probably it. Other than to say, however, every time I hear you talk about this, Caryn, I get very excited. Even though I'm not sure I could take part in it, I think it's really important, and it would be lovely to have it as an option. This whole idea of the kind of intentional community that you are working so hard to create.
But
And
oh, sorry.
yeah, no, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
I don't mean like a hub here. I mean like everywhere. So
Spy. I
yeah.
would love it. I would love it to have that come up again, actually. Yeah, what I'm doing is online. And I will say one other thing. We have to come up with a new date now, but I'm hoping in June we can do one. And that is the Talking to Goddess Blessing and Prayer Circle, which is donation based. And we use Talking to Goddess as a launch point, but people are invited, Annie, to bring poetry and prayers and blessings. So, but all of you, yeah, it's just an hour, and I'm doing it with a woman who I actually initiated last year as an interspiritual priestess.
I think that the work that all of you all are doing is so valid and so needed, and so people are so primed for it, and the whole world, so and I'm doing those goddess texts. I'm working on that Hine library, and pretty much, I could sit here and make lists and lists of people doing really important work. Mare with the Mother March, and and all of these things, that if we could find some more funding for them, and in return, I've got an amazing network. I just, over this past 12 years, almost 12,000 people, of so many people that look at the world differently, and have some really amazing, important. Quanita, you're gonna, you and Mare are left to go next, please. But Quanita, I got your book. I haven't started it yet, but I'm going to, and I'm so glad you're here. And different ways of communicating, just different ways of needed and deep work that we need to do. But anyhow, who would like to go next? Either Mare or Quanita?
I can pick it up. Um, so why am I here? I was invited, and I also, I think last year, one of the things that occurred to me is as we're being asked to level up, it's like you get to the place in your life where you feel like your shoes are too tight. And I used to believe in those moments I was supposed to try to figure out like what's to come next. But what I realize is if my shoes are already too tight, I've already grown. And so it's not about making it up, it's about listening deep enough to learn who I already am that I don't yet know that I am.
Mm.
And so paying attention to what's showing up around me and being curious about, so what does this mean about what's asked of me now? I also know this year, I turned 55 this year, and I've been on my healing journey for 40 years. And and my business is 20 years old this year. And so really looking at what's being called of me for this next chapter. Annie, I love that you were talking about Medusa because I wrote a piece once about how I was told the story that Medusa didn't have snakes in her hair. She just, the Greeks had never seen dreadlocks before.
I
And
love
that she
it.
didn't turn people to stone. They were just in awe of her beauty. And so was
Oh,
struck,
beautiful.
you
I
know.
love that. I
And I
want to
said, it
see
doesn't
that
matter
someday.
which one you want to grab a hold of, but I love that we have options in the stories that we grab.
Yeah.
And, you know, and in a place and in a culture where we're so much in this time in imitation instead of integration, really looking at the
Mm.
place where the
Right.
embodiment, we have more information at our fingertips than ever before. We don't have a lack of information, we have
Yeah.
a lack of embodiment.
I love
So
it.
that's me showing up here.
I
I just
want to
Now,
want
quote
I
you.
love
I'm
it.
interrupting here. I'm at a red light. Quanita, that was like, for me, just a stunning declaration of power. Thank you for that. I love every word you said.
yeah, Quanita's wise. I connected with Quanita. I reached out to her because, and first of all, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
You are.
Quanita. Okay. Because of a Facebook post. It just, and we can left, right, up, down social media, ills and goods and bads, but it does connect you. Can you tell me again what your website is?
It's www.nzuzu.com. It's Nzuzu. She's a Zimbabwe water spirit. She's a mermaid. And so it's, her story is the story of transformation. You know, the wound stuff we do and being obedient and doing our healing journey and then getting access to the delicacies or the sweetness of life that allow us to go out into the world and do more healing.
Oh, and you're in Cincinnati like my son. Can you put it
Yeah.
in chat, or I will,
Yes,
NZ.
I'll do it.
Okay, perfect. And also you have like a 12-month long program that sounded
Yeah,
very
I do a
interesting.
16-month leadership rites of passage cohort for adults. And the whole idea is we have such an adolescent adult culture. And if you don't have initiated adults, you can't have initiated elders. And if you don't have initiated elders, you can't initiate the youth. We're growing older, but not growing up. And so it's 16 months. And in that 16 months, we do 3 retreats. It's a Wednesday evening through a Sunday afternoon. And we're in our 5th cohort. It's people from across the US and across Canada.
Wow.
Thank you. And thank you for coming. Thank you. Mare.
Wow. I know. I'm just kind of processing the Great Mother March and going to DC and doing ceremony under the Capitol building, and the the energetics of bringing the Great Mother into Washington D.C. during these times. She never left. It's just that she's been squashed, shall we say, and I think you all can relate to what I'm saying there. And I'm gearing up because I have very clear guidance from Mother to start doing local events. Time for me to network more. And years ago in 2012, but the Mother 1,000 Goddesses Gathering Global Grid in September will be focused on ceremonies around the world, calling in the heart of water, wherever we are, to love up our waters. Because when we love up our waters, we're loving up the world and ourselves. So, and this is also the event with Sandy, and I'm really honored to be one of the leaders, whatever, hosting, presenting with the Global Women's Village monthly circles to talk about. Mother Gaia gave me the message last year that water is love. We have forgotten this, and that, and also call in the heart of water, which I was gifted with last year, to activate our global waters. So this, thank you, Annie. Yes, anybody who has water near them, please call in the heart of water and bless your waters within yourselves too. So all of you are invited. I'm dropping that seed.
Please, yes.
Yeah.
I want to, Mare, I want to say that you continue to be an inspiration. And Mare is another person who I crossed paths with, virtually and online for years, and then finally had the opportunity to meet at a weekend event here by me. And I still think of, so her and her sweetie drove out here from Asheville, and the what was supposed to be 6-hour trip turned into 10 because every time there was a water they passed, they had to stop and get out and do a blessing for the water. Was that, I might be wrong on the hours and all of that, but
No, you're pretty accurate. Yeah, the Deva, certain rivers were calling. I'm like, Dave, we have to stop because this is how my life works. We have to stop and do ceremony here now, and then make offerings, and it's
and not
loving
only
up.
yes, and not only that, but she included people. And that's what's in my heart
Oh
right
yeah,
now is getting rid of this I look like a moron, they're going to think I'm crazy. They're going to, just like, oh well, who cares? I love that story you said that you were out there blessing and there were three young men or something there, or 2 or 3 men, and you invited them in to do the blessing with you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and just
Yeah, and thank you for bringing that up because this is something, and I don't want to take up too much time here, but it is true. If there's anybody around, I've learned to just invite them in and say, we're doing water ceremony, we're offering love. Everything is energy and love is so healing. And these 3 guys were construction workers who had the weekend off going back to some local town in Western North Carolina. But I'm kind of on a kick right now, and it's very quiet in the moment, of calling in the divine masculine. And actually using that term in reference and speaking directly to men who are around us and saying to them, I'm honoring your divine masculine, because I think